Revelation 1446. From the 31st of May 1940. State of mind. Godlessness. The state of mind which requires a reformation of the existing living conditions, must be subjected to a closer examination, if man is to have the right understanding for the coming natural events. First of all, people's attitude towards God must be taken into consideration. And no other judgment can be formed than that mankind lives almost completely without God. That they indeed traditionally still speaks of him or also outwardly professes him, but that the actual life is led independently from him and the concept of God almost exclusively means something unbelievable for people. For it is always only the inner attitude towards God that is decisive, not the formal confession outwardly. And just the innermost attitude is to be found only extremely rarely in the way God demands it from the people. Many try to fathom the essence of the Godhead, but rarely do they do so in such a way that they turn to Him directly for enlightenment. This is the only and sure way, but they only ask this question when they already inwardly affirm the Godhead. However, as long as they cannot do this, they ponder over it intellectually and do not come to a conclusion. Therefore they have no faith, and they try to replace the faith in the most favorable case with intellectual research. But this way is wrong. In order to recognize God, He must first be acknowledged. Only the God-affirming attitude can also result in the right relationship to God. And this must be felt inwardly. It must recognize the being which is from God, its origin. It must feel the togetherness with God, in order to approach Him again. At present, however, human thinking is far away from the right realization. God is for the people only the concept of an infinitely distant being or else a light figure called into being by the people themselves, which lacks all likelihood. And therefore one does not try to get in touch with such an unproven being. Yes, one rather tries to free oneself from this concept. So one lives life consciously without God. Unification with God can never be sought if one does not acknowledge the eternal Godhead. And almost nothing is able to change the erroneous thinking of the people. Because everything that comes over man in suffering and sorrow, does not let him find the realization that these are transmissions from this very Godhead, who is not recognized. They try to explain everything earthly, that is adapted to the human intellect, and the existence of the eternal deity is increasingly put into question. More and more, mankind frees itself from the thoughts pointing to God, and thereby the soul gets into a state which questions any spiritual progress. Interruption.